Brandon Graham et Cooper DeJean sont là. Nous allons discuter A.J. Brown, de Vic Fangio et d'autres sujets sur les Eagles de Philadelphie avec E.J. Smith. Tout commence maintenant. Bonjour tout le monde! En direct de Studio Xfinity, voici le podcast des PHLY Eagles, présenté par Bet365 et Ashley. Je suis votre hôte, Wulf, accompagné de notre expert des Eagles, E.J. Smith. Et E.J., est-ce que tu t'assois pour uriner?
I don't know what you just asked me. It's like I'm in Paris already. This is amazing. I am thoroughly impressed by your French skills. This is like beyond just like taking this in high school because you had to. This is I like how you like get into the character of it too. I can appreciate that.
What?
Now is the is that offensive? Like the Parisians not appreciate that? So I shouldn't be walking around France doing that.
Comme c'est comme ça.
So are you going to try to do the entire show in French?
No. That's about all I got.
That was very impressive. Hats off to you.
Merci beaucoup.
I don't actually speak much French. I speak very survival French. Even that might be a stretch for me. But yeah, c'est bon. That's about all I got. So,
okay.
Yeah.
We got a lot coming up on the show today. We're going to hear from Cooper DeJean and Brandon Graham, a couple separate segments there. We are going to revisit our preseason bold predictions at the halfway point here. But first, we got to hear about what the coordinators had to say, and let's do it, EJ, through the prism of the Ace Hardware temperature check. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Tell us, are things très chaud or très froid?
I think Trey Shaw.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's close enough. I thought Vic Fangio's explanation for Jahad Campbell, his decrease in playing time, was interesting. He basically said that because they were so light at edge rusher during the week that Jahad Campbell ended up needing to play, or during the practice week, he played more as an outside linebacker, even with the nickel defense. Previously, he had been limited to playing outside linebacker with the base defense, but again, as they were lighter at that position, it just wasn't like a clean week of practice, Vic Fangio said, for Jahad Campbell, which led to the uptick in snaps for Nakobe Dean at off-ball linebacker by comparison. So I don't know. He said moving forward, it's a good problem to have that they have the three of them.
No, there's never a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's not encouraging for Jahad Campbell's like.
I feel like the only anytime a football coach says it's a good problem to have, it's a lie.
Yeah.
The closest thing I can think of is I have 6 Super Bowl rings and I don't have a finger for them. You know,
yeah, that's. I mean, I don't even know if you'd call that a problem. Yeah. I think it is a problem. It is like, I think that is always like when they say it's a good problem to have, there's always something there that's like, it's not ideal that your first round pick, who's played well, has taken on a smaller role because his versatility is almost working against him in a way.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't have Nakobe Dean there, I find it hard to believe that just because they were light on the edge, that would have meant all of a sudden that Jahad Campbell was spending half the week in outside linebacker meetings and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was playing those snaps, right? They wouldn't be doing that. Now, maybe you could argue if Dean wasn't back yet and they were still this light on the edge, maybe they would have elevated, Antoine Powell-Ryland or something like that, just to have an extra body. I think that's possible. And for the record, we have got the Unblocked podcast with BG coming out tomorrow, and we did talk a little bit about Jahad Campbell, and he said like he was in their meeting rooms for part of the week, so that does track. I am curious to see how it goes after the bye, because it is, it's not ideal, as you said, that your first round pick who has looked good, and Vic Fangio of all people talks about the importance of reps and how valuable those are, to take those away. I don't know. It's not great.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal, but I also think it's important to point out that like BG obviously is making probably will be back.
Right. So let's see what happens and Nolan Smith I expect to be back.
Yeah, and Vic Fangio talked about that and talked about how he feels good about the Eagles edge rusher room, in anticipation of the trade deadline. We're going to talk a lot about the trade deadline over the coming days. Well, I guess we won't, but there will be a lot of discussion about the trade deadline over the coming days. And I think what stood out to me about Vic Fangio's press conference is how dismissive he was of like the idea of adding to the defense. Like, he was asked like, okay, like how much, is the bye week coming at the time that it is advantageous for like scouting guys, seeing like looking at film for guys? And he's basically like, no, not really. And he said that he had minimal input in what Howie Roseman's going to do before the trade deadline. Now, do you fully believe him? Not necessarily, but I do think
maybe minimal relative to the amount of input he would like to have.
Yeah, that's probably more. That's probably an accurate framing. Right. But I did think it was notable that when he was talking about the edge rusher group, he said that they are in good shape there. And then when he was asked if that group is where it needs to be, he said it has to be, which does not. I mean, again, I think that if there's like the right edge rusher on the market, I would expect the Eagles to be interested in that. But I do think it's interesting the way that he's framed it, where it's like you do have guys coming back, and I think he feels good about the group as it currently is situated.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really interesting thing to follow.
Yeah.
If I tell you when the Eagles line up on Monday night against the Packers, they have both Brandon Graham and Nolan Smith back. How do you expect the reps to be allocated at linebacker? I'm
going to guess that Nakobe Dean is still the base linebacker. I think that you will see more Jahad Campbell as the nickel linebacker if it's not a role that he has to like split between outside and off ball. I think that he is a better linebacker in nickel for the Eagles than Nakobe Dean. Even that one, the route down the sideline where Nakobe Dean was in coverage, like you just immediately. I remember the second it happened in the game. I remember thinking like, you kind of wish that was Jahad Campbell in that situation. Doubt. So it's weird because again, most of the time we see in Vic Fangio's defense the last 2 years, like that the versatility is rewarded. You get more jobs because of the fact that you are a versatile player. With Jahad Campbell, it kind of does feel like he got penalized a little bit by being able to wear multiple hats for the defense.
Yeah. Okay. How about on the offensive side of the ball? What did Kevin Patullo have to say about the offense and how interesting they were able to be without A.J. Brown?
He didn't mention the A.J. Brown of
A.J. Marron.
He didn't mention the A.J. Brown of it all too much, but did talk about the under center looks. I found it interesting. Again, Kevin Patullo is kind of in his like Shane Steichen era in the sense of like he doesn't reveal very much up at the podium, but he did talk about how the under center looks have really helped out the run game, and talked about like the work that Jalen Hurts has had to put in to facilitate that. And facilitate the balance that they've had the last 2 weeks. And, we've talked before about how Jalen there's a notion out there that he's not comfortable under center, but I think like it's also fair, and, this is something that he mentioned, like it's fair to point out that like most quarterbacks coming into the NFL haven't been under center very much in their career. And maybe it's not an express like unwillingness to do it, but just like a curiosity or a lack of confidence in like what it would look like if Jalen Hurts, had to operate out of under center, because we just haven't seen him do it very much in his career. Jalen obviously said on Sunday like he enjoys it, and I think Kevin Patullo really like harped on like how much work Jalen put in to get the offense to the place it's in now. And I actually have an interesting take about this. So I think like one of the interesting things about this season has been watching like the post Super Bowl 57 Jalen Hurts experience. Like he's kind of like had to reinvent himself as a player in a couple of different ways. Obviously, like the turnover aversion from last year was the big story, and now the under center play action game, like being more willing to do things that are outside of his comfort zone, evolving as the way that defenses play him evolves. I do think it is. it's just the type of thing where you will hear other quarterbacks across the NFL like who are really resistant to certain elements of, whether it's under center, whether it's, motion. You hear quarterbacks being like taskmasters about motion. I think the fact that Jalen has been open to these types of things actually is like a reflection of like what he always talks about, like whatever it takes to win. And
it's like an NBA player coming back with, like, they added the floater.
Yes,
over the
but
offseason,
his are when you lose. Like whenever he loses a couple games,
right.
it's like, what am I going to
add?
Not
in the offseason.
Exactly. Because they lost
losing so much.
They lost the 2 straight. He's like, you know what? I'm going under center. It's time. So no, it feels like he sort of like reinvented himself. It seems like every time that they go through the adversity, he finds a way to reinvent himself. I think he deserves credit for that. I think that he is I've been pounding the table as him as like a sneaky MVP candidate at this point. Ooh. I think that it could be a real thing, especially with the way he's playing right now.
And you can reinvent what's going wrong in your house with our friends at Ace Hardware Home Services. Go to acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project.
I love an Ace Hardware. This isn't even part of the branded segment. I just like my local Ace. The people there.
It's all about that Ace.
I have like the phone number of my like Ace Hardware girl guy. Like I texted him yesterday.
What about?
About grilling, obviously. No, his name is Ed. Shout out to Ed from Ace. That's what his name on my phone is. Ed
with the big Ace.
He's the best. I mean, he's got all the best grill stuff.
Willy nilly?
Not show like
you. I need help with something, or like?
Sometimes I'll text. I think I got his number originally because he had like seasonings that I needed, and I was going to get there late, which is something we'll talk about later. And he just left them out for me. But no, look, like it's just me sending him stuff I make on my grill.
Dangerous path forward.
No,
just sending pics back and forth.
I mean, it's just like the most like middle-aged man text you could possibly have, just like grilling activities. So
shout out to Ed.
Shout out to Ed.
All right. Anything else from the coordinators that you found interesting?
I thought Vic Fangio talking about the second outside cornerback position was interesting.
Why?
We can go to the graphic in a second here, but I just wanted to first point out, he said he needs to see what Jacorian Bennett and Adoree Jackson look like when they return to practice before making like a grand determination about who is going to be that starter on the outside. I also did find it interesting, and this is the graphic we have, Lindsay, of Vic Fangio talking about like Cooper DeJean potentially being an outside corner.
Cooper DeJean.
That was a layup for you in the French. I don't even know what to call it, an impersonation. Anyway, we got the quote up here. Vic said that they've considered moving Cooper DeJean to the outside cornerback spot, but
he says, we've considered it. Yeah. But when you have one of the better players at a certain position, and it's an important position where you get involved more, you hate to take a really good player at one position to maybe not be as good a player or as impactful a player at another position. But it's definitely something that we've talked about.
I completely agree with him. I think Cooper DeJean can be a pretty good outside corner. I think what he offers you as a versatile chess piece in a defense, playing multiple spots and being physical against the run game. And that was another thing that like he alluded to, is like you can make an impact because you're closer to the action. I really don't think, I'm not really on board with moving him outside for that reason. Now, if you told me, and this is something that Vic talked about, like if they had like a really good answer at slot corner, and this is just like for the second half of the season, this is our best secondary, maybe I could be talked into it a little bit more. But I think this Eagles defense, like Cooper DeJean's versatility is kind of like integral to what they do.
What do you make of they're just whacking Perry Nickerson with no replacement in the middle of the week? What's that about?
I think it's a reflection of the fact that like they can get him back on the practice squad.
I guess, but they're not filling the spot. Why are they in such a rush to do it?
Well, it could be the BG. Well, yeah, right, they don't have to do that. Week.
BG, Nolan Smith, and Jacorian Bennett.
Maybe it's
coming up.
It could be a trade deadline thing too. Just like have the spot open already.
Could be.
Maybe
just get ahead of it, so he's not going to get claimed this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's also like I don't know. Maybe they save money. By not having him on the active roster for a week, even though it's not a game week?
Like that. It's probably more just they knew they could get him through early, get the added flexibility. It's a good question, though.
I suppose. I mean, I don't know if it's an important question.
It's not important, but it's a good question.
Merci.
I don't know. What do you say to Merci?
Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes?
No, I can't do that. C'est bon.
Okay, let's take a quick break, hear from some sponsors. On the other side, we will check in with Cooper DeJean, Le Blanc Prince. All right, let's talk about our friends at Bet365, where it is never ordinary. That's right. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide, and they live stream over 780,000 events each year. With early payout offers across the NBA and NHL, Bet365 pioneered live in-game betting, and today they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. Breaking news from our friends at Bet365. New customers now get $300 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So a certain local author invited me over to his house over the weekend. He heard I could watch Texas Mississippi State because I didn't win that bid on Swooper.
Buzz Bissinger?
To be determined who this local author might have been. So yeah, he's pumped up to watch the Texas Mississippi State game. But his setup when I get there, it's a total mess. Lagging, buffering, and switching between apps to find the game. He claimed he was a big fan, local author, big football guy, but I felt like I was fan-fished. So if you call yourself a football fan, you have to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games of my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room. Plus, Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games on at once because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications and live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, and we love when Vic really leans in to the concussion uncle role, which it's very down the middle for him. He lives it, he breathes it. Along those lines, what a great job by him at the beginning of the press conference to say that the Blue Jays should not have walked Shohei Ohtani last night. They should have hit him.
That is some real concussion.
That is some real concussion uncle stuff. Why? What are you doing? Just putting him on? You could dent him, throw the ball at him. It's like that's exactly what you want from your defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I also appreciated his respect for the craft of reporting. Because I don't know if you caught at the very beginning of his press conference, he said, all the people who didn't show up today, we shouldn't televise this so they can't see it. Only the people who are there. Now, he may have been a few minutes early. I may have walked in after he said that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy day in the Smith household. He went probably about 5 minutes early. I missed the first minute and a half of his press conference, and I'm taking accountability for that. But I did appreciate that, he these guys... all of my mentors in journalism will tell you your presence is important and people notice it. I think that was a validating. That's the word of the week for me. A validating thing for him to say, even though I wasn't there.
I mean, what else did you have going on?
I mean, I was packing. You know how packing can be.
Yeah.
Are you like a got to pack 3 nights in advance, or are you morning up?
What about me suggests that I am capable of packing 3 nights in advance?
I'm so chaotic. I can't do it until it's the last possible second for me to pack. So
yeah, I'm a procrastinator.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in this job.
I don't know about that. You seem well organized, unlike me.
What?
I feel like you got your stuff together. You do a better job.
You are not as good of a reporter as I thought.
Maybe I'm just not a good judge of these things. I'm very chaotic. I thought about doing it last night, and I was just like, I can't do it tonight. Just got to do it in the morning.
Yeah, that is earliest is night before.
Yeah. No, but it's so depressing to pack the night before. I don't know.
My wife loves packing.
My wife loves packing until it's time to really start packing, and then the time crunch sets in. But yeah, shout out to Julia, because she plans all this stuff. and she's really good at it.
Did she give you a packing list?
No, I'm pretty good at packing a bag.
Okay, you're a big boy.
And I'm good at folding the stuff and putting it in the way. Like I take pride in like I can get a lot of stuff in a suitcase because I'm very economical with the way I pack and the Tetris and all that. I don't use packing cubes. But yeah, no, my wife is like, she's like the one that she's the itinerary creator. And I don't even know what we're doing. Like I just show up and have a nice time.
Must be nice.
I think she likes it that way though. I don't think she like wants me to meddle in her itinerary planning. Is this weaponizing competence? Maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. So, bye week. The good folks at the Exciting Mics had their recording yesterday, so I had a chance to catch up with Cooper DeJean afterwards. Let's check out what Mr. DeJean had to say, sponsored by our friends at Bucci's. All right, we are back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, and now, presented by Bucci Jewelers, it's time to talk to Cooper DeJean. Cooper, how you doing? Coming off a big win, getting ready for the bye.
Great. Big win yesterday. Now into the bye week, so feels good.
Do you have, like, when you play a team, I know you were asked a lot of questions about this heading in, like playing a team twice in 3 weeks or whatever, but was it, like, kind of weird on the field? Like, I just saw you guys. Was it extra chippy or anything like that?
It was a little different because we did just see him, like,
right.
I don't know how long ago, but it was recently. But it was definitely a little different. They did some different things though than we saw the first game. But yeah, it was a little weird. That's the first time I've played a team, that close together.
A little silly as far
before.
as I'm concerned, but
yeah, I think we do it with Washington too here.
Yeah, at the end.
Toward the end of the season, yeah.
Why didn't they just flip those? Why couldn't it just been?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Anyway, we don't have to get into the scheduling mechanics and my gripes with Roger Goodell, of which I have many. Coop, in this game, I'm curious about how you feel about this, having been through last year, where, in no small part thanks to you, the defense got so much better over the course of the season. I don't know why necessarily that might be, but do you feel like this defense has a chance to be on something of a similar trajectory?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that's how the season goes. You just continually improve, every single week, and I think that's what we've done as a defense. I feel like, last week, was probably one of our better, if not our best game of the season on defense to this point. And that's a good thing. We got to continue to get better each and every week. And that's something that's been stressed in the locker room. But, the guys up front played really well. Back end played really well together. I feel like just everybody on defense was clicking together, and, it was fun. It made it fun. I know there was a lot of smiles out there on the field, laughing, while also being focused. But, it was good to, kind of put it all together yesterday.
The thing that looks most different to us from the outside is obviously having Nakobe in the middle on some packages with Zach and Jihad flexing to the outside. What has that been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, they're both – I mean, it really hasn't been a whole lot different. Okay. They're both, great players, obviously, and we can do different things with all three of them healthy, which is great. Obviously, with Jihad on the edge and Nakobe in the middle, but I'm just happy to see Nakobe back out there and his energy that he brings to our defense. I think it's helped us a lot, and it allows us to do different things, like I said, with our fronts and with our structure within the defense.
Speaking of guys coming back who have a unique energy, what's it been like having BG back in the building?
It's been great. It's been awesome. Just the energy that he's brought.
And you mentioned everybody gets a smile on their face.
I know. I know, because that's just the type of guy he is. I don't think BG ever has a bad day. At least he doesn't show it.
Right.
But he was out there talking crap the first day of practice. He was talking in warm-ups to Jameis Winston. Okay. Yesterday before the game. But just the energy that he brings, to the field, to the practice field, and on game days is great for us. And his veteran presence as well for young defense is also good. But I can't wait till he suits back up in them pads.
A couple more for you. I want to ask about Andrew Cooper, because having been a rookie last year and having played that position this summer next to Reed, I think you have probably as good of a perspective here as anybody. What has it been like watching Drew, get the reps that he needs at a very difficult position for a rookie to learn?
Yeah, he's been great since he got here. Just the questions he asks, you can tell he wants to be great and wants to make an impact on our defense. But it's a tough position. It was kind of a blessing in disguise as much as I wanted to be out there the first week of the season last year. But I think it helped me a lot, not playing those first 4 weeks on defense and, kind of allow myself to get more comfortable within the defense. But, we threw him in there right away, put a lot on his plate, and, he's handled it. He's handled it well. I've tried to put more on myself to make things easier on him, just communication wise and in the back end. But he's done a great job. He's continued to improve each and every week, and we knew it wasn't going to be perfect right away, but he's continued to get better, each and every week.
What's he like in the DB's room?
He's just laid back. Okay. He's pretty laid back. Funny dude though when you get him talking. Asks a lot of questions in the room. When we're going over game plan stuff and things like that. But he's a good guy to have around.
The coaches always talk about the bye week as like self-scout time, right? They can get back to basics. I'm hoping you can give us a bit of a behind-the-scenes self-scout on, is there anybody who, like, Eagles fans aren't really aware of, someone who has not made a huge impact on the field yet, who has impressed you behind the scenes, whether that's, on the field or something else?
Yeah. I think a lot of the young DBs in our room have done a lot of great things, giving guys looks on the scout team defense. Okay. Being able to go up against the starters every single day. I think you saw some of them out there on Sunday. Mac, he's been great, continue to get better. And then I think Xavier Gibson.
Okay. He's got some juice.
I think once we get him going in the return game, I think he could he'll be a good weapon for us.
Okay, last one. You got the cereal behind you, the Coops Crunch. Now I don't know if you saw this. My colleague E.J. Smith wrote a story about you this week, but he was asking Devontae about the cereal. And he's like, yeah, Devontae's debating whether he's actually going to eat the cereal or not.
I did see it.
And EJ's like, well, you don't really look like a cereal guy. And Devontae's face changes. He gets very serious. He's like, oh, I'll have some cereal up now.
Yeah,
he's a big cereal guy. So I want to know, what cereal will you F up? What's on your Mount Rushmore of cereals? Aside from your own, of course.
Aside from my own. Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch and berries is up there for sure.
I'm with you. It's great.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Can't go wrong with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I don't think. Throw the Wheaties in there.
Okay.
The frosted Wheaties.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
My beef on Cinnamon Toast Crunch is I don't think soggy Cinnamon Toast Crunch is very good.
I don't eat cereal with milk.
Oh, really?
I eat all my cereal dry. Yeah.
Do you
I'm not a big
put it in
cereal
a
and
bowl,
milk
or
guy.
you just
I put it in a bowl. I still eat it with a spoon. Put it in the bowl, but
wow, all dry.
Yeah, I'm not a big cereal with milk guy. Never been. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also Honey Nut Cheerios too. Got to throw that in there.
I feel like that's the most down the middle. Everybody can be happy with Honey Nut Cheerios.
Consistent. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, no, there's no milk thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Red flag Eagles fans have.
I like the sugary cereals. So I just feel like the milk ruins it kind of.
To me, that what makes a good cereal is it's good both dry and once it gets a little bit wet, which you know, Cap and Crunch does well. And I imagine Coops Crunch does too.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Cooper DeJean, thank you so much. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy the time off. Everybody check out the latest episode of Exciting Mics, and thank you to Bucci Jewelers for bringing us this segment here on the PHLY Eagles podcast.
The mattress free-for-all sale is happening now at Ashley Furniture. Sleep better with interest-free financing for up to 60 months. Save up to 50% on Nectar and Dream Cloud. Get free pillows from Beauty Rest and free base upgrades on select mattresses. Score free gifts with Tempur-Pedic and Serta, plus doorbuster bundles starting at $199. For queen-size mattresses, enjoy free 10-year extended warranties on Tempur, Stearns & Foster, Beauty Rest Black, and Atlantic bedding. Don't miss these incredible deals only at Ashley Furniture.
All right, listen up, Eagles fans. You know who's playing at championship-level car deals every single day? Elkin Chevrolet, located on Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. It's run by three brothers, Jason, Adam, and Josh. These guys are in the store every day working to make sure they have a huge lineup of Chevys at the best price and providing honking good service. No fumbles, no drama, just real brothers running a local business and backing every deal like it's the championship game. So if you're in the market for a new Chevy, make sure your next move is to Elkins Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Shop now at elkinchevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
This Saturday, Ashley Furniture in Ben Salem is having a tailgate party and savings event. Save 15% off all Ashley Furniture, plus you could win up to $10,000 in furniture prizes. And don't miss a free meet and greet with your favorite Birds players, Brandon Graham, Jahan Dotson, and Jahad Campbell. Bring the whole family for music, face painters, refreshments, and more. The fun starts at noon, and you must be present to win this Saturday at Ashley Furniture in Ben Salem. Don't miss it. Back in the PHLY Eagles podcast. First of all, apologies for my mic. It's in the same thing happened with the Reed Blankenship interview. So it's something about the interactivity with their recording software, but I got to get a better mic. It's too tinny. I don't like that. Doesn't sound good.
Let's get into the real stuff, though.
Let's get into the real stuff. You go through life trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. You see people, you see strangers on the street. You try to think that as a human being too. They feel like I feel. You know, they have families. They've got ups and downs in their lives. We're all part of this together. And then you go through a week like this where all of a sudden you meet three different people, E.J. Smith, the professor, and Cooper DeJean, all of whom have just been living their lives as dry cereal people the whole time?
I like a dry cereal.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
No. I also need to let the chat in on a little bit of a secret that I just revealed to you and Lindsay, which is that I find it strange that Cooper DeJean eats the cereal dry out of the bowl with a spoon.
I think that's very funny. Yeah.
I'll put it in like a red Solo cup and just like
what do you have red Solo cups around for? Are you having college parties?
No, I'm like the furthest thing from a college party.
You and Julia playing flip cup before bed every night?
I don't know why we have red Solo cups actually, but we do. Or a coffee cup, like a to-go coffee cup. I'll put it in the cup and it's not working.
And you just take it right to the dome?
It should be. No, I don't take it right to the dome.
So let me pour myself some Lucky Charms.
Oh, man. I'm wearing my Cliff hoodie. This is where I need to go like, hey, yo, pause. No, I'll eat the cereal out of the red Solo cup and you don't have to touch it. You can just kind of, I've seen you eat popcorn this way, so I know you understand how this works.
Hold on. Very specifically in the press box. Not if I don't go to a movie and then just take popcorn to the face, it's because I don't want buttery fingers while I'm typing on my laptop.
I think it's a reasonable way to eat cereal.
It's utilitarian.
Did you see Fran say what he does with his Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk? in the morning?
No, but is it freaky?
No. He puts it through a strainer into the first cup of coffee. Now that's next level. What do you mean?
It's innovative. I'll give him that.
It's genius. It's like perfect cinnamon sweet.
How do you know? You don't use milk in your cereal.
Yeah, but like that is like a good mixture. It's like a good halfway between like creamer and just like putting milk in your coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I drink a lot of oat milk, so I can't say I don't drink milk
I like
products.
I like that it's innovative. I like that it's anti-waste.
I mean, he was probably going to drink that milk anyway.
It feels a little gross to me.
Why?
It's like your own backwash, essentially, that you're repurposing into your milk, into your cereal.
I mean, it's like you could say the same about just drinking coffee. Like he's not. I mean, no, it's not like it's like your spoon is interacting with the milk, but it's not backwash. It's not like how much of a slob do you think Fran is? Like it's not like he's spilling all over the place. Like if it comes up on the spoon, it's not going back in there.
So when you and Julia are having breakfast in the morning, if you bounce it in the Solo cup, does she have to take 2 bites of cereal?
I don't know why we have red Solo cups. It's actually a great question. We don't have parties. Like we have cookouts in the summer, but we don't even use them for that. I got to figure out why we got red Solo cups. Maybe they've been the same red Solo cups for the last 5 years.
Maybe.
But it's good for cereal.
Man, I thought for sure when Cooper DeJean was when I asked him about somebody behind the scenes, I thought for sure he was leading up to saying Brandon Johnson.
The deflation in your face when he didn't say Brandon.
Some of our young secondary guys. But maybe it's too. He doesn't want that secret out.
Or maybe
Howie told him we can't be talking about him publicly.
Well, Cooper DeJean said he saw the Devontae quote in my work. Maybe he's familiar with my McWilliams prediction as well.
Potentially.
All
right, let's go from one current Eagle / PHLY employee to another. Spoke to Brandon Graham this morning on the Unblocked podcast, which you can watch tomorrow at 11 o'clock, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. Let's find out what he had to say. Asked him a little bit about the offense and the under center stuff. And frankly, I don't remember what else we talked about because it's been a long day. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast from the set of the Unblocked podcast with Brandon Graham, the sharp-dressed current player himself, BG. BG, we talked about the defensive performance and everything that came with it on this episode that'll come out on Wednesday. But I want to ask you about the other thing that has been a very popular topic for the Eagles this past couple of weeks, which is the under center stuff on play on offense. Yep. I want your perspective from a defensive lineman's perspective on like, does that change the way that you rush? Does it make you a little bit less aggressive if the offense is going under center?
Well, it does, because now you're looking for run, especially against a team like us where you got Saquon in the backfield and you know you're trying to make sure that you don't go too far up the field, because I mean now you got fullback involved and or tight end, whoever's back there, you got 2 backs. And yeah, man, I mean, and I feel like Jalen did a great job this past game, being able to get under center and, you know, turn his back, and then, man, being able to have those tight ends. I mean, not tight ends, those linebackers get sucked in.
Sucked in a little bit, right? Opens up the middle of the field.
Open up the middle of the field, and then you got a guy like Smitty, who great route runner, got some good plays in there. And it's a tight end's dream too, because most of the time they're getting 7 routes and outside routes, depending on, like, you know, whatever play action is called and how you running the ball too. Because being able to run the ball helps in that. If you got the running game going, play action definitely works in the I formation, because most of the time you're trying to stay close to the line so that you can set the edge as a D lineman, other than run up the field and create different lanes.
How about when they go 6 offensive linemen, get Fred Johnson on the field like we saw on the 65-yarder for Saquon? What does that do to a defense?
That is the same thing, where you out there getting ready for the run, and then they hit you with a play action, and then now they got like a 6-man protection, because it's no way Fred is going out there to get a pass.
Right.
So it's,
although I feel like we got to see that at some point this season now. If they're going to lean into it a lot, let's get Fred a touchdown.
That'd be more so goal line stuff.
Yeah.
Or like mostly goal line stuff. Like how Lane got him a touchdown and all that. they first got to do it in practice first to see if he can catch it.
That's right. And then the other one I want to ask about is empty. When Jalen's empty in the backfield, does that change the way that you rush at all?
Yeah, because if he's which we used to do that quarterback run.
Yes.
To see how they play the empty, and if they leave the box with like one linebacker, maybe two. If they got two, then we know to throw it out. But if they got one person in the middle and it's 5-on-5, we're gonna go with our 5 every time.
And you know the ball's gonna come out quick. But yeah, it is interesting that Jalen has not run quite as much this season. What do you make of that?
You know what? It's just a new coordinator. He might not want to put his quarterback in a situation like that right now, but I know that was part of our game. Okay,
and in this game, we talked about on the show the 5 sacks from the defensive line, but also the run defense. How did that seem to improve to you from the sideline?
I thought it held up pretty well. I mean, we had some leaky yardage in there here and there, but I felt like we bowled up at the end where we kept them the field goals other than touchdowns.
And it felt like that first game, you weren't there obviously, but like a little bit out physicaled in that game. Was that an emphasis coming in? Because it certainly seemed like you guys answered the bell.
Yeah, they talked about that all week, just about being more physical than them. They coming into our house. Of course, you know, we didn't want to make it like about them. It was more about us and how, like how Uche said it, he's like, man, we got to make sure we discipline, go out there and take care of our game plan by making sure we doing what we're supposed to do, being where we're supposed to be. And then when the game comes, it'll just be like practice. You go out there and you make your plays that come to you.
So what was it like this week, like meeting the guys on the team who you didn't know and getting to know them?
Well, it was cool this week just to see them at practice because, I mean, it's not like I didn't see everybody.
You saw them around the building.
Yeah, saw them around the building, but now you see them as a player.
To feel them.
To see, like, yeah, you can really feel it.
On the show, you talked about how Bigsby sort of like, oh, who is that guy?
Yeah.
Was there anybody else who you were like, who is that guy?
You know what?
There aren't that many new guys.
I know it ain't, but it's cool to see how Jihad worked.
Okay.
You know, seeing him. Jihad's been put on the D line too sometimes, so we've been working out. I mean, we've been doing individual stuff together sometimes, and I think it was like Thursday when we did it. But just helping him, seeing him, just raw out there, just playing. You know, I mean, he always got energy towards the ball, and so that's where I feel he's going, once he become a technician for real. I think his game going to even elevate even more.
Does he come into Edge meetings too, or is it just on the field?
Yeah, just on like one day this week we only did Edge meetings because of how they structured it, certain packages for him.
Right. It's tough. I mean, it's got to be. It's a lot to throw on a rookie.
Yeah, it is.
To have to learn linebacker,
but
and
he can handle it though. He definitely can handle it. He's confident, and it's just more about just making sure you put him in the right position.
How about some of the other guys who have just sort of ascended since last season? We talked about Jalix on the show. What's your opinion of Cooper DeJean, who is having another awesome season?
Oh yeah, Coop, man, he's a worker. I mean, we train together on off days. We come in.
Okay.
We do like some speed.
This is the PHLY part where you guys get to train.
Well, no, I know.
It's Cooper, you, and Reed.
I know.
The podcasters over here.
Actually, Reed is in the group too. Reed just started this year with us, but we go.
And then Bill Matz. It's the 4 of you.
Oh, but nah, yeah, we all train up there with Eddie Greer. He part of the weight staff.
Okay.
We do a lot of speed and agility work. He does, movement work with us, and it'd be cool to see like it's me, Q, who, Jalix, all them. Like we all got a little group, and it started with just us last year. They just watching me with Eddie, and then Eddie started getting more people, and then we just started doing it.
All right, I like that. Anything else around the league that is interesting to you right now?
Anything around the league that's interesting? Man, you get 5 sacks and still lose the game.
Get blown out.
Get blown out too. Who would have thought?
How many sacks would you take in a game if you knew the team was going to lose?
Shoot, I gotta get the record then. They gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other
What
than
is the
that,
record, actually? I don't know.
probably like 7. We gotta look that up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like if for one loss, you take 8 sacks.
I'll take 8, but I'll take 5 for real. But oh my god, I got it.
Oh, it is 7. Derek Thomas. Nice job.
Yeah, it was 7. Yeah, I'm like, cause I remember somebody almost tied it, or somebody did tie it, and they should have got another one, but they didn't.
Okay.
But 7 though in the game, that mean coach just pass happy and just don't care. I want to have them situations one time where the coach is like, we gonna keep running this play until we get it right, and then it's like you keep on blowing it up, sack. Keep on he try to sprinkle it in every other quarter. I mean every quarter. Different, but the same play.
It's not quite the same thing, but I did think the most disrespectful part of the win on Sunday was Tank picking up 2nd and 26.
31. 2nd and 31.
You know what? They showed 31 on the big screen, but it was actually 26. They got
26.
It wrong. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But still, he run the ball on 2nd and 26, and you pick it up.
And he picked it up.
Come on.
I mean, man,
you can't be letting that happen.
It was like people was running out his way, wasn't it?
Yes.
No, but it was good to see him have a day, because I know since he got here, it ain't been as good. He's been dropping like kickoff returns,
right?
Like, it's been.
I mean, that's not his. He's a running back.
I know he is a running back.
All
but I'm proud of him.
That'll do it for this segment for the PHLY Eagles show with Brandon Graham. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will be back with more on PHLY. Everybody has their favorite hard tea, but have you ever turned the can to read what's inside? You can't, because they don't tell you. And while they hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about it. They puff up their chest about it because Crooked Tea brews USDA organic tea for real flavor with 0 sugar. No fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. So next time you're at the store, flip the can, and if you can't find the ingredients, put that nonsense back. Then grab a Crooked Tea, 0 sugar, real tea, fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Real recognizes real, so why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Ha ha! Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you.
Fellas, we all know the feeling. You walk into a jewelry store trying to pick out something for your wife or girlfriend, and suddenly you're in over your head. You're thinking, what's the difference between all these diamonds? What if she doesn't like it? Yeah, it can be stressful. That's why working with Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design has been such a game changer. These guys make the whole process seamless. From the minute you walk in, they treat you like family. They actually listen, help you figure out what she'll love, and then their team designs something completely custom right there in-house. No pressure, no pushy sales vibe, just good people who love what they do. And the end result, something you're proud to give and she'll never forget. So next time you need the perfect place, go see Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design. 30 plus years in the game, voted Philly's #1 jewelry year after year. Over 1,000 5-star reviews speaks for itself. Check them out today at BucciJewelers.com and tell them the guys at PHLY sent you.
I had a chance to meet the lovely folks from Bucci this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Great people, yeah.
You gonna
had a great time.
Take a trip to the store soon?
No comment.
Got to keep the surprise, yeah.
Keep the surprise out.
I respect that.
All right. EJ, one of your first shows here, I believe, was some bold preseason predictions. So let's revisit those now that we're halfway through the year. Why don't we start with yours?
All right. So some people may remember.
And tell us if you would, would you double down, hold or sell?
Yeah, I like the framing of the stock. Let's look at these like stocks. So a lot of people may remember I was pounding the table for the Year of A.J. Brown.
Oh, boy, were you right. Just not in the way that you thought.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of has been the Year of A.J. Brown.
Year of A.J. Brown for the Eagles.
So let's go through them and then we can talk about them. Jalen Hurts has an MVP season. I don't think I said he was going to be an MVP, but in the conversation. Moro Ojomo will meet or exceed Milton Williams' 5 regular season
Now, was
sacks.
that really all you? Was that really
I said
the
he
bar?
was overqualified for the role that Milton Williams played in the defense last year.
Okay.
And then my final one, McWilliams becomes a starter not by midseason.
At some point
At
midseason.
some point midseason. All right, so
Okay.
I'm going to say the
Year of A.J.
Brown.
Brown. Double down. I mean,
Yeah.
not in the way that you meant.
Honestly, I would double down on that one. I think that there obviously is a small chance that
Yeah, no.
he's
To
having
be
it somewhere
fair,
else.
your prediction here was that this was going to be, like a 1,500-yard
But you know
monster
what?
season for A.J.
It's
Brown.
it was interesting listening back to that conversation that we had before the season and thinking about the way that the last 8 games have gone for the Eagles and like A.J. Brown's frustration throughout that time. Because going into the season, I think it's fair to say there was an expectation that A.J. Brown was going to get the chance to be the number 1 receiver in football. To pound, I was pounding
Put
the
a
table.
stamp on it.
To put a stamp on it, exactly. And you can kind of understand a little bit of where that frustration comes from when the opportunity really didn't present itself for him. So I still think there's a chance that he has a big second half of the season, but in a way it has been the year of A.J. Brown. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think
been
there is a
constant
very good
conversation.
chance that in 10 years, when you mention the year 2025 to Eagles fans, they will think, oh, yeah, the year of A.J. Brown.
Now, on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being like T.O. doing sit-ups in the driveway and 1 being like, I don't know.
Britton
like,
Covey showing up to work.
I was going to say like Greg Ward, like wishing that he had gotten more targets in a game or something.
Okay.
Where would you put this one? Where would you put this year of A.J. Brown in terms of like memorable Eagles, like wide receiver drama?
I mean, I feel like it's 9. I feel like
Oh,
it's,
wow. You think it's that close? I was going to go like
what other,
7 or 8.
But what other wide receiver, Eagles wide receiver drama would top it
Deshaun.
other than T.O.?
Oh, nothing would. I mean, Deshaun had some
Deshaun
moments.
and his gang ties?
Like the contract stuff, but yeah, the Deshaun's the end of
No,
Deshaun's tenure.
I think this is a bigger deal than any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's that close to T.O. doing sit-ups in the
I don't think
driveway.
it's I don't think it's close to that in like he's going to waylay the season necessarily.
Yeah,
I think I've been using waylay too much.
I don't think so. I like Waylay.
I like waylay too, but now
There are things we are guilty of using too much on the show. Definitely,
a
Of
lot.
It All is one that I see some people.
make some space.
I had to put that in like
Well
the cool down
said.
period. What did we say? Oh, validate's been my word of the week. But
That's okay.
more
But
of
that's
like
you
that's
got
like a bit.
a week with it.
Yeah, that's like a bit right now. Okay, Jalen Hurts has an MVP season. I'm doubling down on that
I think
one
it's
too.
a fine one.
I think the strides, like the reason why we had some of these takes from what we saw in training camp, and I do think that Jalen having a really clean summer has been it's shown up in the first 8 games in how he's processed, like the way that he's seeing the field. And honestly, the way that he's like embracing some of the new elements of the Eagles offense, he's just been playing really clean, and like I think there's a chance that we look back or look up in like another month or so and go like, this guy, has X amount of touchdowns, X amount of production for his team, while also avoiding negative plays and avoiding turnovers in a way that is conducive to winning. So I think maybe not like MVP frontrunner, but I think he'll be in the conversation by the end of the season. So I'm doubling down on that one too.
Yeah, I think that Jalen has really taken a step this year as I don't think processor is fair because I think there's kind of like a negative connotation to like not being a processor, but just in terms of the quickness with which he's seeing things and also willing to make some throws that he didn't always make in years past. So there are times to still be frustrated with some things, and he obviously had a 2-game stretch that was not very good.
Yes.
But I think that the way that we saw them call the game on Sunday against the Giants, like leaning into this is a guy who can be trusted to do it all. I think that's their path forward.
I'm trying to very quickly pull up the MVP odds here. So yeah, Jalen's not really high up in here. This is MVP winners. I'm bad at the finding odds for stuff. I might need your. Oh no, I got it right here. See, Jalen's not even in the top 8. It's Mahomes, Josh Allen, Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Goff, Prescott, Daniel Jones, Jordan Love, and Justin Herbert. I think Jalen belongs in that conversation.
I think he belongs in that conversation. Yeah.
I
mean, only just if only because there's a chance the Eagles, end up with the best record in football. I think it's unlikely, but if they do, he's going to have a very good chance to win MVP.
Next month is going to be just not so much instructive for like the Eagles. I think like they could struggle through the next month and still be in a decent spot. But in terms of like narratives, if they win some of these big games coming up, I do think that'll vault him in that conversation. Obviously, I feel great about Moro Ojomo meeting or exceeding Milton Williams' 5 regular season sacks.
See,
did we not make enough about that?
Here's the deal. You are the one who went through this episode and sent to Lindsay the copy for this.
Yes.
Bold predictions. As I remember it, and Fran, feel free to weigh in on the chat. I felt like your bold prediction was Moro Ojomo sets the Eagles single season sack record.
No, I know that you guys want to like reframe this and make it seem like I said he was like the greatest defensive tackle in Eagles history or something like that. I just said that I think he's qualified to do what Milton Williams did last year. And you guys kept going, oh, Milton Williams is a 100. This is Fran, really. Milton Williams is a $100 million player. Like, that's a high bar. And it is a high bar. And I think that Milton Williams has been, especially if you consider Jalen Carter hasn't had quite the impact that we expected, the fact that he leads the team in sacks, I'm just saying, honestly, you know what it is? I read your work. The Eagles players said that they thought he was going to be the breakout star of the year. Feeling good about that one.
I think you're underplaying the level of your prediction.
I don't know. I don't know where you're getting this from. Moro
Ojomo is inducted into the Hall of Fame at season's end. Is kind of how I remember it.
For that, during that pod, you said that I claimed that he's the next Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
No, I thought he'd be a productive player, and I said, and I still feel this way. Like Milton Williams, deservedly so. His performance in the Super Bowl kind of changes how you view his production in the regular season and even in the postseason in the lead up to that game. Obviously, fair. Like he had his best game on the biggest stage, but in terms of like what the Eagles got from him last year, I don't think they really. I mean, let me put it this way: do they miss Milton Williams? Like, if they had Milton Williams, would it look much different up front for them right now?
I think they'd be better,
slightly better, but not significantly better. And I think that's a testament to Moro Ojomo.
Fran went back and listened. He says in the chat, this is the direct quote, Moro Ojomo will be an all-pro and voted as the #1 player in the NFL next summer.
We can't do this. We can't misquote me. Come on, what are we doing?
All right, what's your last one?
My dad was not happy with your guys' no-sell on the Cam Latu thing. He was like, why did those guys hate Cam Latu so much?
Who says we hate him? Love the guy.
Only
it's not as much as you.
Just not when I bring him up. My last one was McWilliams becomes a starter mid-season. I'm not feeling great about that one. I'm probably just holding that one. There's a chance other side of the bye week, like a Cooper DeJean type situation, but I'm not. I mean,
you think he goes inside?
Probably. I mean, I think the path for him to play is probably inside, but I don't feel great about that. Because Vic Fangio keeps talking about the fact they don't have a good option at nickel to put Cooper DeJean outside.
I think we were expecting that if the first half of the season had gone the way that it actually has, that by now it would have been McWilliams.
Yep, I completely agree.
The way that we felt in the summer, with Keeley not holding up, Adoree not holding up, Jacorian Bennett's injured, like somewhere in there they would have given McWilliams a shot, and he was inactive for most of those games. And so I think it is fair to read they are, this is not writing the guy off. It's year one, but I think they're probably a little bit disappointed internally that he hasn't presented himself as a real option.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely right. I think like
that could flip in the second half.
We probably overvalued like how he looked before the injury in training camp, and ever since. I mean,
the truth is, what we did is we all overvalued Vic saying he liked him in the first press conference.
Yeah, because then he had that, or no, it was Brandon Johnson that he had the big sigh about during training camp.
That was
right?
later.
Yeah, but still, I feel like was it McWilliams? Like it was either no. I think you asked Vic about Brandon Johnson.
But that was when he got hurt. He got hurt.
Well, he got hurt. Yeah. So, no, but he has been much less bullish on McWilliams recently. Although Cooper DeJean, bullish on McWilliams.
I agree with the people in the chat. We need EJ's dad on the show.
If he could figure out like how to work Zoom, I would tell him to get on Zoom for a show. But yeah, we'll get him in.
And he had an important take on the female solo artists.
Yeah,
in Mount Rushmore.
He has Anita Baker in his, and I was like, what are we doing as an Eagles podcast, not mentioning Anita Baker in the Mount Rushmore of female artists? Like, just a wild blind spot. And you know what? I'll take accountability for it. It's on me. It's not on anybody else. It's on me.
That's the Bucks philosophy.
I don't want to know what that means.
I need a baker. They need a baker.
Oh, no. That's bad.
Much more where that came from in overtime.
Stephen Waters says, Latu is a cool cat, EJ the Elder. My dad would actually say, hold on, I got to conjure up my dad voice. Ready? He a bad boy.
Oh.
My dad's got that like raspy
Ooh, I love
football
that.
coach. You remember Doug Nussmeier's voice?
Yes.
That's like halfway to my dad's voice.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got a raspy voice.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to my preseason bold predictions here. We start with Zack Baun. Zack Baun from last year has a repeat, it exceeds last year, doubles down on his own level of production, and becomes basically known as the best linebacker in football. We have Cam Jurgens, has a similar double down and becomes known as the best center in football. Tanner McKee cements himself as a top 20 quarterback whenever it is that he gets to play a game in place of an injured Jalen Hurts. And Christian Parker will become a star and an obvious defensive coordinator candidate in the offseason. So Zack Baun, we can check out the stats on Zack Baun, which EJ pulled, including one which I will not recognize. But I feel good about this one. I double down on this, and listen, the unfortunate Fred Warner injury makes this kind of simpler for me. Now, I think that Zack Baun has been a little bit less splashy the last few weeks, even though he had a sack last week, than he was like I thought the first quarter of the season, he like really looked like this guy.
Yeah.
Been a little bit quieter the second quarter of the season, but I feel good about this. I think Zack Baun is playing at a high level, and I think, frankly, this was a very smart prediction by whoever made it.
I know you don't have a lot of time for pressure rate, and I understand why. I mean, when you do watch like the film of the pressures that are logged as pressures, it's like, come on, what are we doing here?
Of course.
But I do think it is helpful as an evaluation tool where you're looking at every single player. And I want to make sure I point out, like, that includes a lot of edge rushers too, because you can't
But
separate
that's exactly right. That's
linebackers
why
and
it
edge
should.
rushers.
That's why it's baked in. Zack Baun
Fewer opportunities.
Zack Baun is not rushing the passer unless it's going to be an advantageous situation for him to rush
Sure.
the passer.
Yeah, but I still think
Whereas
he's.
every edge rusher.
But you could
has
say
to-
that about most linebackers, and he's generating
He's
the
good at
flimsy
it. Vic
pressures.
Fangio
more
is
than-
also good at deciding when to send him.
I'm not saying that it's an end all be all stat. I did think it helped your case a little bit, which is why I included it for you. But no, I agree with you. I mean, I don't know who else would you put in the conversation right now for like best linebackers in the NFL, especially without Fred Warner now.
Brandon Johnson. Beef up. I think he can get there.
I was like, is there another Brandon Johnson I'm forgetting about?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Zack Baun is. It's funny on the other Philadelphia podcast that we might need to also discuss later on in the show.
The PHLY Sixers pod.
The one with the handsome, sorry, the other Eagles podcast.
Not familiar.
With the handsome host and our boy Cliffy too.
Oh, Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff.
Oh, yeah, I know
Cliff's
Cliff,
pod, yeah. They were talking about the Eagles like having 3 of the top 20 linebackers in the NFL, and that feels rich to me. But I don't know. I think Nakobe's probably higher than I'm giving him credit for. I think
I would be lying if I had a strong opinion here.
Yeah. It just feels crazy to say, but I think it might actually be accurate. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, are you buying or selling Cam Jurgens?
I'll double
best
down on
center?
that one.
Really?
Oh no, Cam Jurgens.
Cam
I thought
Jurgens.
on Baun.
Double
No,
down on Baun, I like that.
Jurgens, I'm selling.
Yeah.
I'm bailing on that one.
I think you sell low on that one.
Because I think a lot of this is probably injury related, but I don't think that he's looked as good as he did last year.
Yeah.
And so the idea that he's going to cement himself as the best center in the NFL seems unlikely, especially since he's already currently injured. So I think Cam Jurgens is fine, but yeah, I would not go there.
I'm curious to see how he looks once he's back because of Landon Dickerson's apparent progress with health. I do wonder, like I spent so much time last week talking to guys about like the profiles that they want at each of the offensive line spots because of Brett Toth playing at center, and like I do wonder if like Cam Jurgens is best utilized with like 2 like massive guards next to him. And maybe if that's part of why he struggled a little bit, because like, we've talked about like the Tyler Steen is a slight drop off from Mekhi Becton, but like still playing well. But maybe like Mekhi Becton brings out the best in Cam Jurgens, having those two guys next to him who are just a little bit bigger, a little bit more of those like workhorses that those guys talk about.
Okay. My next one,
Tanner McKee.
This is an easy double down, and this is where I'm going to really make my profit because the stock has not risen so much. It has, if anything, it has declined because people have forgotten about his great preseason. This is one where this is where I can really make generational wealth, I would say, because yes, if Jalen Hurts misses 2 games this year, Tanner McKee is going to be the talk of the NFL. Yeah,
I mean, I think that the only thing I would say is that because the Eagles did the under center shift before Tanner McKee got a chance to really showcase what he can do in it, it's a little bit softened. Like if they never went to the under center looks, and then all of a sudden it's like Tanner McKee, like, oh, they did it when Tanner came in, like that would be a little bit better for your take. That was something you mentioned in the original show.
All right, and then the last one, Christian Parker. I stand by this. I don't know that I would double down. I'm just going to hold this one.
Okay.
I think Christian Parker is still likely to be a defensive coordinator next year.
Yeah, I think it's fair to just hold.
Yeah. Jay, here's my question for you. Since we're being reflective on season, bye week. Oh, Lindsay's giving us the wrap it up, B. The audio is bad? Oh, man, the audio board is crashing. We need new equipment. Let's do it. Okay. I was going to ask you like a nice personal question, but I guess we got to go.
Oh, the personal questions. I finally escaped. Yeah.
Just as you're leaving. Oh, nerd.
Talk about it tomorrow. Special guest.
Zutalor. All right. Coming up on the show the rest of the week on Halloween. On Friday, you got the Professor and Fran. On Thursday, Jamie and Rich. And tomorrow, a local author joins the show. I'm not sure if I'm going to be here or not, but we will find out what happens. So, for all of us here at the PHLY Eagles podcast, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Lindsay's first solo flight. Give it up, give it up. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And as always, nous aimons.
We all silly like the mayor.